How did I land a data analyst intern role at Data Science Nigeria? Let's talk about it. Hi, welcome to Catchy Engineers. Over here on this channel, we have fun on everything tech and postgraduate studies. The reason I'm doing this video is because every other day on my LinkedIn, on my Medium blog, on my Instagram, Catchy Engineers, someone sends me a DM or leaves a comment about, "Hi Kachi, I want to work at Data Science Nigeria just like you did for your NYSC. How did you do it? Can you give me tips? Can you give me tricks?" And I'm a little tired of sending the same messages every single time. So I decided to do a video so that it can answer all the questions once and for all. Okay, so prior to me going to NYSC camp, for those that don't know, NYSC is National Youth Service Corps. It's a 1-year compulsory service for anybody below 30 that has finished tertiary institution. This is like, I think, polytechnic and university. So I went to Obafemi Awolowo University. I studied electronic and electrical engineering. And before going to camp, I knew that I wanted to work in a company as a data analyst intern. Any company that would just take me as a data analyst intern. People were telling me, "Can you work as an engineer?" I didn't want to work as an engineer. So before going to camp, you have to go to camp for 3 weeks where you go and like learn military drills, how to march, all those things exactly. So before going to camp, I made up my mind to go to various companies to go and look for any company that would take me as a data analyst intern for my NYSC, because after camp you have to do like 10, 11 months post camp working in any firm. And this journey just made me realize that getting a data analyst intern role in Nigeria it's quite difficult. So I set out to a bunch of companies on the mainland and on the island, and all the companies I kept on going to kept on just telling me, "No, we don't want you, we don't. When you go to camp and come back, we'll know what we'll do." But the issue is when you go to camp, NYC is going to post you to any random organization. I didn't want that for myself. I didn't want to end up being posted to some random firm, some random engineering firm that I don't want to work in. I didn't want to practice as an electrical engineer for my NYSC. No, I wanted to explore a little more. So I already had like almost 2 years of work experience as an engineering intern. So I wanted to do a lot more for myself. So I didn't want to take that risk of going to camp and then being posted to a firm that I did not care about or I did not want to work at, or in a role I did not want to work at. So I went to this company and they all told me no, from Nestle to Indomie to Federal Mortgage Bank, SEF, NPA, to mention the company, all the banks on Marina in Lagos. I did it with an NYSC in Lagos. So I went to all, and they kept telling me, no, no, no. Which other company? The companies in BI, in Ikoyi, a bunch of companies. So when I got to camp, I got posted to KPMG. I was so happy because at KPMG, I'm going to work with numbers. It's an auditing firm, accounting, so it's definitely numbers, no wires, no electrical engineering. But sadly, I got rejected at KPMG. I didn't even know because they missed out on this body, but I got rejected at KPMG, and that really made me so sad because that now began my journey of looking for work. Prior to going to camp, I actually went to Data Science Nigeria. But I went on a Thursday, and at that point, I didn't even know that they don't work on Thursdays in the office. They work remotely on Thursdays, so I didn't even know that. So I'm like, maybe they closed down, they're no longer functional. Maybe you need just a whole lot of maybe. So I'm like, oh, just go. So I went to camp and I got back. I got rejected by KPMG, and that started my job hunting journey. I know NYC will say, "Okay, don't go and look for a company. We can post you anywhere." I did not want life to happen to me. I always say, I don't wait for life to happen to me. I happen to life. I will shock life before life shocks me. So I took out that stress for about 2 months, going to go and look for a company that would take me as NYSC. Mention the company, I went there to go and look for work. Pay stack, calorie-wise, paid, piggy vest. I would send a mail or I would show up physically. I went to about, give or take, I applied to about 40 companies. This is mails, visiting physically. Economy, I would go to the company physically. And it was so overwhelming for me because I kept on getting no's. The no's were so insane. I didn't get any yes till a company called, is it CredPal, offered me a social media role. And I did not want to work in social media. I wanted to work as what? A data analyst. I've already said it before, data analyst or nothing. So I kept on going and going and going and going. I even had a spreadsheet where I was begging my friends, if you see any data analyst role, I beg. If you wait for us my NYSC PPA 1 year. And God so kind, I spoke to a friend of mine who was, and a former classmate who was working at Data Science Nigeria at that time as an NYSC intern. And I'm like, hi, G, what's up? I beg, are these people taking intern? I say I didn't know that DS, and I didn't take it intern. Said there was no, I should just try my best and apply. I can shop around to shop. And I'm like, okay, I sent a LinkedIn message to Dr. Bayo, who is the CEO. Mind you, he had come to he had spoken to my set Department of Electronic and Electrical Engineering, my graduating set at a class seminar that we organized by ourselves on like postgraduate studies and everything, life after university. So I already had an idea who he was. So that was a good thing. I sent him a LinkedIn message, though he did not respond. So I said to go and like visit the company. I visited the company physically because they're at Yaba and I live on the mainland, so it was not so hard going there. And I went to the company to visit basically. When I got there, they were like, okay, just drop your CV, we'll send you a link of a form to fill, then we'll consider blah, blah, blah. This is after I'd already gotten rejected by about 40 plus, 50 plus companies, and I'm not even exaggerating. This is after doing interviews for some companies, me passing the interviews, me passing the assessments, and they're telling me, oh, sorry, because of NYC, we can't take you. So I was to resume Cred Power the Monday of which I got my offer from DSN, but we'll get to that. So before, like, they sent me the form to fill the what's name. So I filled the form, sent in my CV. I optimized my CV to like match the role of a data analyst, someone that loves data, blah blah blah. And they sent me the form on Monday or Tuesday. I filled the form that same day. By Wednesday, I was booked for my interview. I think my interview was going to be on a Friday in the morning by like 9:10. And mind you, this was meant to be my second clearance after NYSC. So you know you go for clearance every month. So it was getting to the point where the LGI, that's the local government inspector, was telling me that we have to get you posted to an engineering firm. You don't have a choice. And I'm like, ma, just give me one more clearance. One more. I will shock you. So I filled the form, sent in my CV, optimized, and I made sure like I made it look good. I made it look like I was a person of value. Like every other company I rejected me, they missed out because I mean, I've looked at if you have in your team, this is not me bragging. You have gold. Yeah. But I filled the form. Then I had an interview with two of the staff there, the products, my head of products and research lead. Had an interview with both of them. The interview went well. They asked me questions. I mean, it's an internship. It's not like I'm coming to come and take over the company as CEO. So if things I don't know, I said I did not know. I don't know if I would advise you to do that, but if you don't know something, it's not hard to say, oh, I don't know. Please, can you tell me more? So I did my interview and by like 9:10-ish, and by 11:30, 12, I got an offer. Yeah, that was it. I got an offer from DSN, a data analyst intern. I was surprised also because remember that I'm like, oh, just tell me no again. Like all the other companies have told me no. But one thing about DSN is like they are interested in having like young staff. So that really helps me out sincerely. And I think like my positioning also online, how I packaged myself, the way I spoke during my interview, my CV also. I think I'll do a video about optimizing your CV. That would really help some people. So I'll do a video how to optimize your CV for any role you're applying for. Just remind me in the comments. Just leave a pink emoji if you want that video so that I can know that okay, maybe you want it to see value in that. So I got my offer. And people always ask me, Kachi, how much is the pay? How much is the pay? I don't know if I'm allowed to discuss pay. I can't remember what I signed in my contract if I'm allowed to discuss pay here, but I would say it's more than NYC would pay NYC corpers. So I'm talking about their new corper payment. It's more than that. So that's just gives you an idea of what the pay is like. Or the work structure. I'm currently not there. I left after my NYC January 31st. But while I was there, the work structure was you come to work 3 times a week and you work from home twice a week. So I think it has changed now. But when I was there, it was you work Mondays to Wednesdays. You stay work from home on Thursdays and Fridays. But no, I know it has changed now. So I think when you join the firm, you know what to do. So what would I advise if you want to work there? Send that mail. Just send the cold mail before going. Probably like after your NYC camp, before going to NYC camp, they will usually schedule an interview with you. I even think now they're hiring interns for social media, creative, and all those roles. So you can always check them out at Data Science Nigeria. I mean, it's a very decent place to work at, particularly for NYS. It really like helped me to see what I want in data space and what I don't want in data space. It was a very wonderful role. I enjoyed my time there, sincerely. My highlight of working at DSN was two things. The first one was winning the Intern Reporter Award. This was almost like 2 or 3 months after I started working. I won an award in the office. The award was for the intern that submitted the best reports promptly. So we're meant to submit a weekly report every week, and the deadline was like 8 p.m. Because that's something between 4 and 8 p.m. And every week, by 4 on the dot, I sent in my report. I had the most prompt submission, and that was a validation that like my work is being noticed and being validated. Okay, then the second was winning the intern of the year at the end of my NYC in December. I won the intern of the year. This was a voting category, guys. The staff and other interns across the 2 locations that they had interns, that's Lagos and Edo, voted for me to be intern of the year. There were about 80 something people on the call, and 18 people voted for me. Mind you, there are over like 40 interns. 18 out of 80 people voted for me. That's almost like 1/4. And there are 40 plus interns and people, and I wasn't even in the office that day. I was in my village for my grandpa's burial. So it was just a very wholesome moment that people recognized my work, and that's also a validation to show that the person of value. It took me such a hard time to get the role, and I think because of that, I put in my best. I worked so hard. I was doing my best in data validation tasks. Every task I was doing, I put in my best. I did not want to live I don't like living a mediocre life. So those are my two highlights working at the SM. And I'm so grateful for the opportunities that have come. That I got to travel to Abuja doing my NYC as a corper, thanks to the company, fully funded to Abuja for an event. Got to lead media for the biggest AI bootcamp in Africa, thanks to the company. It was DSN AI bootcamp, and I got to lead media as an intern. It also helped me to like build my leadership skills, my communication skills, just I'm working in teams, because prior to that, the only teams I used to work in were like my classmates in school, and they would always piss me the heck off. So like this helped me to work in teams, very diverse teams, and I'm so grateful. This is it, guys. What I asked me actually, I didn't know anybody in the company that just gave me the role. I applied, I sent a code mail, I sent mails, I showed up at the company physically. When I want something, I always go hard on. I don't relax. I don't just send a mail and wait. I show up at the office physically. I surprise them before they surprise me. I will go there and surprise them. But that's it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a color pink emoji if you want the optimizing your CV video. I will definitely do that for you if you want that. Follow me across social media platforms of Kachi Engineers, and have a good day. Bye.